Yeah. Let it drip. So it's good to the last drop. We're changing oil today. Car Farmer out.
Time to hustle, fix the heap. Tools clanking, no time for sleep. Rust and grime, they coat my hands. Sweat drips down in scattered bands. Car farmer digging down the dirt. Oil and grease right through my shirt. Piston hard and wrench in hand. Born to fix, never
Safety
play.
sandals. Check. Truck on a lift. Check. Oil filter. Draining said oil. Check. Okay. Welcome back, y'all. We're doing some oil change. So I got an oil filter. I got an air filter. I got a truck on a lift. Hey, it's black and quad cab and two-wheel drive and like, what the heck, farmer? What's going on? Yeah, it's a new toy. I got a 05 low miles Ram 1500. Just bought it not too long ago. It's a cream puff. Low miles for the year, so it's a 20-year-old truck. And looking at, wish I had better light, but so I'm draining the oil now. Look at the trans. It had been replaced. Let me zoom you out because that's too tight. Don't want a full HD. So it's like, yeah, we took it camping just to kind of see what's going on with it, and but we're like, it's like, it's got some front end noise and a couple little things that is weird about it, but after I had it parked, that's coolant. And I'm like, well, where the heck's it coming from? So on today's episode, I'm going to kind of do a couple things. We're going to do some oil changes, and we're going to keep up with the maintenance on this old girl because I sold my diesel. Yep, I did it. I sold my diesel. I know. I'm not turning in my man card. It was to pay off another car because to get rid of debt. Get rid of your debt. So I paid cash for this old girl right here. She's it's black. There's only one color when it comes to trucks, and I think it's black. Got the 20s, not double deuces, but yeah, cream puff truck. Hasn't been hit. Like, it's nice and clean up in here. Arizona, gosh, because right now it's a trade-off. No rust trucks, relatively decent miles. No rust trucks. Like, there's hardly a ding on this thing except for in the back bedside. No rust, but it's the trade-off for having no rust trucks is at 9:30 in the morning on a July morning. It's already 99 degrees. Yep. A guy is dying right now. As far I got the cooler going, but it ain't. It's just just blowing muggy air around. It's miserable. So that's okay. That's the trade-off. So, all right, a guy's done griping. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna come over into here. I got this guy. When you go to do your oil changes, invest in the lift. This is like the cat's meow. So this has been draining for, over an hour. So, and it's still dripping. What I like to do is take my time and just let the oil drain. But while you're draining, what I like to do is I like to look and see what's going on. So that's coolant. So that's probably where that's coming from. Safety sandals, OSHA approved. And then, like, say right here, that's coolant as well. So we're definitely leaking somewhere. We just gotta find it. But so what I'll do is take your deal, put it back in, all right? And then take your approved California brake cleaner. I like to clean around it to prove, so when I'm done, that it's not going to leak. So, and then I like these little multi ones. So there's 4 wrenches on each side, and it's reversible. It's just like a little multi-tool. And this guy is a 1/2 inch. So on Hemis, it's a 1/2 inch. Maybe a loose 13 millimeter. All right, that's good and snug. Torqued. Make sure it's clean. No more drippy. And then what I'm gonna do here is, if you can even see this, I got move my pan right here. So just reach up and grab it, the darn thing. Let it drip. Now I'm on a lift and whatnot. One-handed, I would rather use 2 hands and poke a hole in it with a center punch and just let it drain. But since I'm keeping you guys along for the ride, we're just gonna have to let it drip on the floor. So let me get my filter holder, which is this hand, and we'll go ahead and just get your hands wet. Just get in there. Couple of drips, not too bad. So we'll let that drip a little bit and drain. Yes, I got it all over me. Oh, you got it in my mouth. So what I like to do is, with it being oil changes and stuff, by doing your own oil changes, which a lot of people are like, would rather go to the Quickie Lube and whatnot, and the 5-minute oil change, which is, I guess, convenient. And I guess you pay for convenience, but I'm kind of old school. I like to know what's going on with my car or truck. So as everything's draining, I like to walk around and see what's missing. So like my coolant leak, I can see stuff draining. I can tell I need lower ball joints. And it's like, you know what your vehicle's doing by working on it. So then that makes you more independent of a person. If you're paying somebody to do all the maintenance on your car, when something happens to it, you're like, I don't know what's wrong with it. I can give you a spreadsheet saying what I think is the problem. No, fix your junk, okay? Sorry, I'm done ranting. All right, so we're gonna let this drain. So it's still draining. We'll kind of speed this. There it is. I wish I had a better flashlight, but I drove over my flashlight and I killed it. So, yeah. So a guy's got to get better. So yeah, so we're gonna. So I like to use Wix. I think they're just a better filter. STP was what the local auto parts place had, and they this is not the right filter. That's not even close. They said it was for a Hemi. That's not even. The heck does this go to? Okay. Let me come back. Can you hear me now? All right. So after you get your Wix, this is the Wix XP line. It's your 51085XP. Validated. It will spin on. Get on there. Get on there. validated 3 wicks. It does fit. Part numbers match. Because when you look at the wicks versus, I don't know what this is, Pure Pro, a TL1024, significantly different size. But if you look at the diameter, so I let this drain out, it almost looks like the gasket doesn't fit. But the thickness of this gasket looks like the minimal diameter should fit on there. So it was kind of puzzled me there for a minute. So we'll put a little dab of oil on here. I like to, let's see. All right. Can the car farmer, one-handed fill up his filter? Now, I'm gonna make this mess for you guys, because why not? So let's just see. Can a guy we'll just let that fill up. I like to fill up my filters. I don't know about you guys. The least amount of time that the engine's sucking or running without oil just adds more wear. With this this high mileage oil that I'm putting in here helps with some of the zinc content, but just fill up your oil filter, guys. Even if you're doing it one-handed. Actually, this would be the great time to have the kiddo come out here, my little human, come out here and fill this thing up. But would he spill it? I don't know. Looks like we're gonna fill it up here. You know, not too shabby, one-handed pour. This is where patience. Oh, yeah, see, I did it. I spilt it. Dang it. Good oil. So try not to spill your oil. Yeah. All right. We're just going to go ahead and put this up on here because it's a Hemi. It'll work. All right. So after you fill up your oil, then you lube up your, don't forget to lube up the old O-ring. Not too tight, just tight enough, right? And then I take the old can of and oh, where it is. So just to prove, we'll do that and do that. Get a little on there, get on there, clean all that off, clean all this oil off. Because to me, it should be standard practice whenever you do your oil changes, just get a can of brake clean because it'll make things a lot easier for you. The engine won't, or the truck won't attract oil. But write the date on them. So today's date is, what is today's date? Today is July. We'll just do 7 of 25. Write it down, guys. Write it on your filter. You know, have a little craftsmanship. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'll take the truck and I will lower it down. So I've already torqued. So this is on snug. It's full of oil. We've torqued the 1/2-inch bolt, or maybe 13 millimeter. Depends on what brand of of wrench you're using that day. So let me get this oil can out of the way. Let me lower the truck, and then we're going to top her off with a lot of oil because these Hemis.
Time to hustle, fix the heat. Tools clanking, no time for sleep. Rust and grime, they coat
Okay.
my hands.
All right, so now we're back. All right, so now that we got the truck lowered, the manufacturer calls for 5W20. Now this truck has 150,000 miles on it. I like to put what's recommended with it, because why not? So I use the Amazon Basics SAE 5W20. It's got all the good stuff for these engines. So what we'll do is, without getting in the camera angle, I like just to pour right in. No funnel, none of that garbage, right? This thing calls for 7 quarts. And I let it go completely from empty. I let it drain for like 2 hours. So this is like empty. So between the roughly half a quart of what's in the filter, and I'm going to put the contents of this 5 quarts plus the 2 from the new bottle, and look at that, didn't spill a drop. Get it all out. Drink up. Drinky. And then what I like to do is I let that sit right there, let it drain out, and I grab my other one. So good job, Amazon. I like your packaging. Just in case it decides to leak, good job. Normally, I would just kind of pour into the, with the bottle, it says, it has the label on the old quart jug here. What I'll do is I'll take these quart jugs that I've got left over, and I like to top them off just because, so then I'm getting an accurate, because I don't necessarily trust the sidebar on these big jugs. I don't think it's that accurate. So I have a no-name brand right here that I'm container. So we'll let that drain into the catch can. So that's 5 plus 1. All right. That would be 6. And then I'll pour it in again. I was thinking about getting some of those cool glasses, the Meta glasses. I may end up popping for one of those just to give you guys better content, because then you can see the sweat dripping off my face, dripping on the floor. You can check out my safety sandals. So that's 6. That's now 7. And I apologize for the lighting. We had a power outage, so I had to take some power strips out of here, move them over to the house while we ran off a generator, keep the fridges and freezers cold. Just a matter of getting back where I need to be, so I can give you good, high quality YouTube content. All right, so that's 7, and let's see if that did it. So take the old dipstick out, wipe it off, dip it in. says we're right on the safe mark. So it's the higher end of the safe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it up and I will let it come to an idle, and then I'll shut it off, and then I will come back in about 20 minutes because it's freaking hot out here. And I will let it settle, and then we'll get an accurate oil level. But I want you to hear something. So I'm going to put this microphone right here. Let's see. Okay. If you can hear me, this is right over the engine. So this Hemi with this is 05, so it doesn't have the MVDDS system on it. This is just a base Hemi, none of that computer controlled garbage. Listen to how quiet this engine is. This has 150,000 miles. Dude, I find heat. Nothing. So I'm going to put it down by the valve train. So I hope you can hear that. All right, so we let it come up to idle. We'll come back in about 20 minutes. So we'll come talk to you soon, and we'll make sure that we got it. So give me a minute.
Time to hustle, fix the heat. Tools clanking, no time for sleep. Rust and grime, they coat my hands. Sweat drips down in scattered beds.